welcome to Season 2, Episode 74 of One Man's Opinion. Today I am reviewing Connecticut Repertory Theater's production of Death and the Maiden, directed by Gary M. English, running through April 2nd at the Studio Theater at 820 Bolton Road in Storrs, Connecticut. Written by Ariel Dorfman, Death and the Maiden is set in the home of Gerardo, played by Alex Winnick, and Paulina, played by Samantha Seawolf, located in an indeterminate Central or South American country. Based on dialogue, the year is about 1990, and the country the two live in has just had a political revolution overthrowing the fascist dictatorship that has oppressed people for decades. About 15 years prior to the time of the play, Paulina had been abducted and repeatedly tortured and raped by members of the authoritarian government. Gerardo, who is her husband and a lawyer, has been promoted to a high-ranking political position where he is assigned to investigate abductions like Paulina's, focusing specifically, though, on cases that explicitly ended with the abductee dying. This causes a rift between the two of them as to his focus on priorities. On a dark and stormy night, Gerardo comes home with Roberto, played by Flores, a doctor who helped Gerardo out after Gerardo is stranded with a flat tire on the side of the road. When Paulina hears Roberto's voice, she is absolutely sure that he is one of her abductors, a doctor who supervised the abuses put upon her to ensure that she would live as long as possible so the experiments could continue. Dorfman raises some compelling ethical questions with Death and a Maiden, delving into questions about amnesty, justice, vengeance, and closure. When Paulina, who still after 15 years has yet to find any real healing in her trauma, decides to hold Roberto as her captive, the debate begins to rage between the three characters, especially over the irony Paulina committing a kidnapping while advocating for the new governments to bring about justice in a fair and legal manner. The drama of the play is tense, if the dialogue is a bit stilted at times, though this could entirely be attributed to the production, not the text. The three stars of the play do have some solid moments, but there is definitely a sense that none of the cast have the wells of life experience to draw from to flesh out the roles. It is interesting where these student actors do have their best moments. Seawolf's and Flores' best moments are when Paulina or Roberto's fear is most forward, like the opening beat of the play when Paulina hears people at the front door in the middle of the night and she goes to a drawer and grabs a pistol, moving into the corner of the room in the dark. She knows how to bring forward emotions surrounding fear well. Same with Flores as Roberto, who is seriously pleading for his life when she's got a gun to his head. It's when the actors need to be more assertive when things go a little cockeyed, and they tend to posture and pose, making the action more melodramatic than it needs to be. And melodrama is what it turns into. Shakespeare once wrote, "Acquire and beget a temperance that may give it smoothness." And I feel that is what this production is lacking, a sense of smoothness in the action of the dialogue. It doesn't flow naturally as the conflict arises. I would have liked to see all three actors find a natural space for their more aggressive beats, and bring their moments of anger from within and really let their conflict fly. I think the design is exceptional. I love the little dining room set piece that the play centers in, designed by Michael Chybowski. I feel like there should have been maybe a functional sink somewhere stage right, but that could also just be my American sensibilities talking. There's also some excellent lighting work by Nicole Corbett, though there was a projection on the upstage scrim that popped up during scene changes that was maybe there for illumination for crew to conduct set and prop changes, but visually it didn't make any sense. Otherwise, I love the details of the lighting, particularly in its color and use of shadow. Sound design isn't something that I tend to focus on when it's done well, because when it's done well, you usually don't notice it. But Jake Neighbors here did a great job with the sound design, and Schubert's String Quartet number 14, which happens to be titled Death and a Maiden, is a critical part of the storytelling. The cues around it worked very well with the visual elements. Also, there was a gunshot cue that I don't think I've ever seen land quite as on time as this one did, so excellent work there, Neighbors. So high marks for the design team. They all did an overall excellent job. I need the cast to o'erstep not the modesty of nature here. Find those wells of emotions that are real within, and Death and a Maiden would be an exceptional product overall. But I am only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you'd like to see Death and the Maiden, I will leave a link in the description. You can support my channel by becoming a patron on my Patreon page. I'll leave a link in the description where you can go to there. You can also support my channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and click the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review will be the Broadway revival of Bob Fosse's Dancin'. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.